What's up, y'all? So today the market's been kind of moving. Gold moved, and it's been interesting, right? So I'm basically kind of been chilling, watching some stuff here. Not really been moving. So I basically been going through and just kind of waiting for the markets to kind of get really going. Whether we're gonna move back up or move back down. Um, it's kind of just waiting here. 90% of trading, actually 95%, 96% of it is just waiting and chilling, waiting for good opportunities or things to come up and show themselves. But I'm glad I trade the futures because at least I'm not stuck to just one. Whether it's the ES. So it's nice. Um, Seeing things like actually move. It's interesting. I'm when I look at gold, platinum, CL here, I you can see some stuff kind of going on here with it. So it's nice. I've got in on gold. I got stopped out for $110. I'm on gold here. I'm expecting it to move up. So that's one thing that I'm looking here. Let's see if I can pull it up here. Boom. Yeah. So nope, wrong one. That is the Kappa, Kappa, Kappa. So give me 1 second here. There you are. Boom. So we'll see what happens. I got back in right here. Trying to move up this nice little racetrack here, or this nice little kind of red area. We'll see what happens though. So my biggest thing is I like 3 to 1s, 5 to 1s. If I can get a 10 to 1, that'd be great. But we are seeing the market starting to come down here, so I don't know if it's going to move back up, but that's my hope. So we'll see. Um, but I'm risking about I believe. Let me jump back and see this here real quick. My risk here is 140. So whenever I trade, I really look at what my risk is going to be. That's probably my primary thing. Like I look at my opportunity and how much money I can make, and then I'm looking at the movement up, and or the movement down in conjunction with my risk. Like that to me, it's the only thing that I can control in trading. Right, I can't control fully what the market's gonna do. I mean, all I can do is put the odds in my favor and then play the odds, right? But what I can control is how much money I'm going to lose if it goes against me. So to me, I look at it like this: I'm looking for just good trades, trades that I see. We all have our things that we're looking at, right? We all have our setups that we look for and we see, and so that's what I'm doing here. It's just looking for the correct setups, the things that I look at. Um, I've had a lot of coaches in my trading years. I first started with Invest Tools, and back in the day, they had just come out. And they'd been around for a little bit, but they really started making their way. And so I had a friend of mine. I was into mutual funds and putting away for savings. I was in my late 20s, and he said to me, "Hey man, I know you know a lot about the markets. Have you ever thought about trading?" And I said, "You know what? I've always been interested in it." And so I got into Invest Tools, and then with Invest Tools, that did wake me up. But I realized real quick, nah, that ain't it. Um, that was almost like a setup. And then from there, I got into options with them, and then I got into optionetics. I spent money with them to teach me, and then I also fiddled with it myself, trying to figure out. And then I started messing around with options, getting into it, and iron condors and things that I knew would at least give me some premium and some money. And then um, 2008 happened. It just crushed me. I mean, literally just crushed me. And I had bought property and other things like that, so it really kind of put me in a tailspin. Long story short, I kind of hung up trading for a little bit, for about 2 years, 2 or 3 years, actually 2 years. And then 2010, I started paying to, or actually I went to Investals to start to work there for a while, and because I wanted to really learn how to trade and invest tools. I mean, it was a good organization, but it just seemed like more base of a sales job than actually really teaching you how to trade. I mean, they were good traders. I'm not saying that they weren't. They weren't good traders that were brought out of that and learned from them, but just it wasn't there for me. And then I went through and started to go through and just kind of trying to figure it out on my own. I had to go through my own stages, but I went through Online Trading Academy. Did that for a number of years. Was working with them, and I couldn't get the hang of it. And then but I had to figure it out myself. So I went through another guy, Joe Soffer. He's taught me some stuff as well and helped me out there. But it was a guy named Chris Koopman. He's actually on Twitter, and he basically kind of he's the one who really sharpened my skills. It really taught me a lot. He's on Twitter as Easy Money 250. I think it's 250. Easy Money 250. He posts all his trades and everything. He's a phenomenal trader. But he refined my skills and kind of helped me out in a lot of areas. So, and then from there, I just been progressing more and more. So, but I would say it was him that really helped me out. But yeah, it's interesting. I'm in crude oil as well. Checking it out here. Um, see what's going on. Oh man, just markets are going sideways, so I don't know what's going on. Obviously, we're in holiday season, so everybody's off, not really trading. Typically, you're gonna have a big move in the morning, or somewhat of a big move, and then it's gonna go sideways for the day. Looking at nat gas here, or so we'll see. We are looking strong. Boom. I don't know if you guys journal your trades, but it's really important to journal your trades. I feel like you're able to see kind of what's going on. So, I mean, as you follow yourself and you listen to yourself, and I would typically listen to myself. I would videotape myself, and then from there, see just see what's going on with it, and then listen in and find out what I was doing wrong, and it helped me out quite a bit doing that. Actually, the primary reason why I'm doing this is also to maybe stop putting storage on my computer and put it on YouTube's, and then be able to sit there. So if you guys come along and just want the community, someone to talk to as well, you're more than welcome. But everything that I do here is live. So yeah. Cool. Where you at, Gold? You gonna run up on me? We'll see what Gold's gonna do here, right? We just don't know. Boom. Wow, that's what happened to it. Okay, okay. I'm gonna put this up here in my I don't know if anybody's been following the Nifty, but it's been moving, man. I mean, I think it always moves, but I've been kind of digging off of it. So, boom, boom. All right. Go gold. You gonna do crude oil? You gonna get moving now, or you gonna sit there? There she goes. There she goes. No wick on the bottom. Come on. So here we are. Let's see if she's gonna climb up this this slide here. Slippity slide up. Let's go. See where you're gonna go. See if I can risk, you know, 120 bucks to get a 40 to 1. We'll see. We will see. Go gold go. All right. I typically trade one lots in all my trades right now just because I just feel like it's easier. I mean, not easier, but you know what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. It's like it's more difficult, but I feel like more accomplished, if that makes sense. Trade one to two, three. I know people who trade. I don't know if anybody knows Bob Don, but I've seen the man like trade, 40 lots, 30, 40 lots, and this man be like killing it. But then, sometimes like if you ever sit in his class, I've seen this man get stopped out like 8 times in a row and still just jump, like not at face him at all mentally. He was like, whatever, boom, jump back in, because it met his rules, met his criteria. And by the way, if you're on here and you don't got rules, or if you're watching my videos and you don't got rules, and you just jumping in thinking it looks good by feeling, you guys need to, you guys need to learn. You need to have some rules. So, but I mean, each person has their own trading style. Okay, let me see. Where else? Ooh, all right. So we got. Here we go. We can climb up that racer. We can climb up that that slippity slide there. Are we done for the day? Like I said, my risk is super important to me. I want to be able to risk a small amount. Like I said, the only thing I can control is my risk in this game. Line everything up, making sure it's all correct, and then kind of move forward what you feel is correct. All right, now gas is looking pretty. So we'll see what's up. for. I have quite a few windows here. I like to be able just to scan through them for whatever reason. One of my Alright, so here we go. Come back down. What are you gonna do, net gas? We got 5-minute demand zone, 15-minute demand zone above, above, above. It's the top of the hour. Top of the hour. Got a 1-to-1 so far. So we're gonna get above this 30 to supply. First retest. But that 38 is the the 50. Let's see what crude oil is gonna do. Coming down. Let's go, crudy. Let's go. Retest will stop. Go ahead. Put these up here. It's interesting how I had to learn how to stream here as well. Okay, so on this side right here, on this side I have copper, or not copper. On this side I have the ES, and then on this side I've got crude oil. So you guys can sit there and see that. Excuse me, on this end right, you can see that I have crude oil right here. So you should be seeing the whole entire thing. Actually, here we go. I'm not as polished as all these other YouTube guys. I'm a man. I'm definitely not. But is gonna turn around here. Top of the hour. See if it continues down. British pound. Starting to move up. What's it going to do here? Setting me up for a rally. Oh, not gas. I'm just waiting for it to decide which way it's going to do. There it goes. What got me into oil, or not oil, gold here was a retracement back into this area here. We were moving up above the SMAs, and we're in a potential movement up right here. There's really no sellers up in this area. There might be some sellers up in this area here, but it's just on a 5 minute. It's on a 5 minute chart here, so I can't really see it. Oh yeah, I forgot you guys were on. You guys are. So right up in this area, there's no real sellers here. Might be some sellers up in this area, just because you have the 50 moving average coming into it. So we'll see what happens. There we go. You have a rally base. Might be rally here. Depends. You have this area here. So that is a 30-minute zone. It's top of the hour. Went up first. New candle. New candle. There it goes. Man, Crudy, you just sitting here. That's what we call opportunity cost lost here. see it's got to come down. So I'm gonna move. Where am I sitting at? Where's my stop? All right. We'll see what's up. You'll come down and hit the 8 on crude, and then move it back up. It's a nice little. We did not leave a wick on top, so it's a good sign here. It's gonna go in my favor here. It's coming back and looking for stops here. That's what they're doing. We'll move my stop here. Just one more tick down. Making an even point. Alright. We got a wick on both ends. Nice. Boom, gold. Set up. Part of me almost want to double up right here on crude oil. It's a little retracement. I'm kind of learning all this stuff as we speak here in these first couple of sessions here. A lot of times I'll have friends of mine who are great traders as well. I'll trade with them, and so they'll be like special guests or something like that. Just looking at things, kind of going from there. Yeah. All right, here we go. Let's see what it's going to do. Natty gas. Where are you sitting at? Nice. All right. Give me a wick. Come on down just a little bit more. Right now, what I'm doing is I am only getting into trades. There's a quote by Bruce Lee, right, that says, "Do not fear a man who does 1,000 kicks, but I fear a man." I don't know if it's Bruce Lee or somebody like that, but basically, it says, "I do not fear a man," or maybe it was an old Chinese proverb, and he just quoting it. I apologize. Maybe it's not even Chinese. Maybe it's like another martial art country. Man, I sound like an ignorant guy. I apologize. The primary statement is this, though: I do not fear a man who practices 1,000 kicks, but I fear a man who practices a kick 1,000 times, or like a one style of kick 1,000 times, because that means he's gonna know how to handle that kick in a bunch of circumstances. So right now, what I'm doing, and this is applying to, um, I'm waiting for trades that set up for me in a certain type of setup. So I'm waiting for me to go down and hit a wick, and in that I want you see that I have all those SMAs sitting there. I want some type of SMA to sit in that area, a preferable higher time frame SMA, but it's coming down into a wick, and then let's say, oh yes, dang it, I gotta remember this. Boom, the gas. All right, so let's say right here, I'm gonna use because I'm looking at the gas right now. So Right now, you see right here, we have some stuff right here. We have some, but here's my wick right here. You see that? Basically, I'm waiting for price to kind of come down into this wick. Now I have other rules that I use to really make sure that it's a strong area. You know what I'm saying? But those are primarily, if y'all want to learn those, just because these are not my setups. I mean, it is my setup because I've modified them quite a bit, but it's still, I'm not going to tell because it's my coaches. His name is, like I said, Chris Koopman, and he's on Twitter as Easy Money 2050, and you just go there and you just check it out. He's good. He'll teach you the setups, um, and just he's out of everybody that I've spent money on education wise, he is easily the cheapest I have ever had. I mean, I think mine was like $3,000, and it was the best education I've ever had. Better than Online Trading Academy, better than I mean, just his attentiveness to his students is ridiculous. He's for you, man. I mean, when I say he's a good coach and he's for you, like I remember, so he teaches you one on one. There's no group sessions. We do have group sessions once you're skilled enough as a trader. He follows your percentage rate and your trading rate. And so one thing I love about him is though is if you aren't doing what he's telling you to do, he's gonna yell at you like a child. Like it ain't gonna be like, hey, well, this is what we. He's like, what are you doing? Like, where's? And he just starts yelling at you, like straight up, like. And it's actually kind of cool because you realize like he really cares about you. Like, as when we were kids, right? We think, oh, why are our parents yelling at us? But as you get older, you're like, wow, they were really looking out for me. Thank God, or thank the divine person you believe in, right? That you got disciplined and you know and I was sitting there and as this guy's yelling at me, I'm like, I'm a grown ass man. Like, who's he yelling at? But then I realized, like, I was like, oh wow, but he's right. And then I realized, like, he's a coach. He was actually originally he was a swim coach, and then he worked with kids, and a lot of his kids would go off to the Olympics. And he used a lot of psychology in his training. So a lot of stuff that he's doing, it's actually he knows exactly what he's doing. Um, and what I love about it is that he goes after it and he teaches you this stuff and then he tries to ingrain it into your head. Basically, we all know that pleasure and pain um, is one of the best ways to teach you. Unfortunately, like positive affirmations important and stuff like that, but there's nothing like that when you have. I remember my first 10 to 1 or 1 to 10 to 1 trade, and I remember sitting there, and I was on my own, um, and this is underneath him. As I'm sitting there and I'm going over stuff, like I'm realizing, like, come on, baby, come on down here. Um, as I was sitting there going over stuff, he like I was literally listening to him, like like going over stuff in my head, and he gives you a workbook and all this other stuff. It's not a workbook, but it's like his type of handouts, and all of his students were all like, we're just, he's really awesome. To go back to my story, I know I'm kind of being random here, and this is kind of like all over the place, but he I was struggling, and it was like my first roast, like the first trade I had really got into, that I was really running. And he's like, listen, I don't, I'm glad for you. That's really, really good. But my most important thing is that your trading ratio, your consistency ratio, is more important than anything. Than Because the thing is your consistency ratio is what's going to make you wealthy. And I remember him just being real about that. And so I ended up So basically, what he did, I apologize. I'm kind of dealing with some business over here. Um, he, and I love this. As I'm kind of learning, I'm still in the learning process through the education process. He ends up going through. Here we go. Boom. He ends up going through, and it's Thanksgiving in Canada. He's out of Canada, and it's their Thanksgiving. And as I'm struggling, I didn't know it was his Thanksgiving. So I'm texting him back and forth. I'm on the East Coast. I'm studying, I think it's around like maybe 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock my time. So over there, it'd be around 7 o'clock. And so I basically said, hey, you got a minute? And he's like, yeah, what's up? And I basically sat there and he worked with me. Right now, I didn't know, but he's like, he sent finally after about about an hour of going back and forth, sending screenshots, trying to understand what he meant in his booklet and trying to understand. Right, he goes, "Hey, let me call you back in about a half an hour, or I'll hit you back up in a half an hour. It's Thanksgiving for me." And I was like, "Wait, what?" He's like, "Yeah, my family said we're sitting down for Thanksgiving." I said, "Whoa, wait, bud, listen, you need to back up. Like, first of all, you should have just said, listen, it's Thanksgiving and I'll hit you up tomorrow. It's our holiday." And he's like, nah, you're my student. I ain't gonna let you hang. And I was sitting there and I was like, I mean, who does that? Like, like, I sat there in amazement going like, wow, this guy really cares. Like, he really cares. And so that's why I really, I don't think I'm patient enough with people to teach them. He's patient when you really get to know him. He's patient, but at first, like he's not. He'll yell at you at first, when you start to work with them. Um, you don't, you don't think he's patient, but he actually is. He's doing like a psychology thing where it's like, you know, good and bad, um, pleasure points. If he rewards you, and it's kind of weird because you realize that like after the fact. But so I'm working and he's literally he hits me back up like literally. So I told him, don't worry about helping me out. Go eat your dinner. Go do what you need to do. I'll talk to you tomorrow. And then he sends me a text saying, no, man, like you're my student. I want to make sure you get this. It's really important to me that you are successful. And I'm thinking to myself like, who does that? Like, I mean, I can understand, business wise, but this guy's he's committed to your success. He really is. And so, I mean, that's why we all respect him in the trade. He has about 30 students, I believe now. He teaches about three or four a quarter privately. For like, at least for me, it was like 30 something $100, but it was still like I've paid $60,000 with Online Trading Academy, with Optionetics. I spent 10,000 with Vast Tools. I spent another, it was like 10,000, 8,000, and then I went and worked for them to get access to all of their tools so that I can be able to trade better. And at the same time, I really I really liked and what they stood for, about giving power to the little people who want to learn and take the future in their hands, right, through trading. So I respected that about him. But Chris, man, Chris is bar none easily the best coach teacher because he wants to see you succeed. Um, and then once you're a fairly good trader, Chris is about typically about a 90% trading ratio. He typically gets about like 4 to 5 to 1s. He actually sends out his journal every day to us, which is phenomenal. What teacher does that? And you're able to go through and see he sends his wins and his losses. So I've seen the guy have 35, 40 trades like without a loss, right? You're just like, dang, like who does that? Like who's able to do that, right? That dude. That's who. I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep singing his praises. Probably you guys are probably getting annoyed, but I'm telling you. So out of respect for him, I don't give my setups away because they are partly his trading style. But everybody knows about a retracement back down into a demand area or a supply area where try to, that's there There it is. Boom. So my risk is going to be 18. It's 4. That's gonna. All right. That's a good. That's a good ratio. All right. Boom. Let's see. Boom. Right here. Put my stop. So my risk here. I should have a racetrack as I'm looking up here. It's the 86 is where I'm looking to go here. 86.4 for natty gas here is my goal. We very much could go higher, but that is my first and second target. I could get stopped out here, but I'm in a good position here. So we'll see what happens. Come on. So my risk is $100. I got 10 ticks. I should have waited for it to come down just a little bit more. I've been paying more attention to it right here when it came down into this area. Yep. So we'll see. There we go. Looks like gold is trucking along a little. CL is just being a jerk. Over here, it's not moving. Boom. Boom. 15-minute. Alright, man, I'm actually looking maybe to short here on the ES. I'm gonna see what the setup is right here on the 50, on the hour, 2 hour, 4 hour here. Now, the daily is sideways, so where you at, Gandhi? Boom. What are you gonna do here? We're in demand though on the 2 hour. I realize that the chat here is like 30 seconds off. So I apologize. I'm looking. Actually, it looks like it might be wanting to rally up on the ES. Huh. Alright, ES. 4 hour candle. We'll see what's up. So we came down. It's weird. So I actually like there's a trade that I like to do where we will open up, right? Like so right now we're coming to the close in gold. And what it will do will go sideways, right? And then in the evening, you'll come up and go up this racetrack. This this like a slide, right? Like it slid down, and now I feel like a lot of times it'll go back up. We'll see what's up, but it's interesting to sit there and see what's gonna happen. Actually, and I'm watching this, the 50 moving average here. Let's see what's going on. Is this gonna stop me, or is this gonna move up? So we'll see what's up with that. But we should at least, if we get above this, we should see it kind of falter a little around the 40s, and then like 42, 43, and then we should see this thing jump up to the 1850s, 1850 and 1847-ish area. We'll start to see some resistance step in, um, but it all depends on this 50 moving average. So we'll find out what's going to go on here. And then the ES here, looking cool. Let's check out the Nifty here. You know, there it is. Nice. It's a nice setup here. Let's see what you're gonna do here. Lower high though. Where did it take me out here? Crude oil. Yeah, man. Sometimes the way it rolls. Crude oil took me out for $100. Like I said, only thing you really can control is your risk. So we'll see what's going on here. Yeah, crossover. We got that crossover. This is gonna fail right here. So I'm stepping in. I'm gonna make sure I don't. I mean, even though I know my risk is only 90 or $100, it's looking like it's faltering here. So they're creating a way for it to go back up, but they got to come back down if I'm buyers. So the next junction point it's going to blow through is right up in this area here. So I don't want to blow through here then get back in here. So we'll see what's going on. If it starts to rally back out from here, well, that's gonna be a different story. But if I see, let's say, something like this, right, or it comes down into this area on the 15-minute, right, and then I start to see the next candle show some strength, while it's in a wiki area, then I'm gonna be paying attention to it. But as of right now, it's just I'm getting out right here. Man, everything's starting to go against me here. Yep, that 50. It's under the influence of the 50 moving average here. So I'm gonna get out here with a profit. Let's see what's up. Let's see what's up. Let's see if it keeps rallying. I really want to see this thing. Moon Nifty. Alright, guys, I'm gonna let you guys go here for a minute. I gotta make a couple calls. came down, like I said, to this area. Should have got in right here. Yeah, it's gonna come down. Nothing's really trending. See what happens. This is like the crap time sometimes to trade. I think I'm gonna come back at the close, see what's gonna go on.